The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watring, and this is the Eagles Sports Network. Carson-Newman gets set for action at Wingate on Saturday. And, Coach, first and foremost, I want to hit upon something that you talked about in the postgame at LMU. You talked about how important it is for your group right now to find a bench. Mm-hmm. Is that something for you as a coach that you can try to develop by giving them playing time, or is that a want-to issue with those players?
I mean, it's a hard question to answer. Sometimes you think productivity is like, well, I got to go out and shoot it and score, and that's not necessarily what it is. You know, we're looking at it as when we put certain lineups on the floor, when that group disbands or you take people off, you know, what's the score and what's the plus-minus chart look like? And it's just not very favorable when we go to the bench. You know, we've had games where the starters will start off strong, and then we want to rest some guys, and we may send two subs in and take out whomever, and then we just get stagnant and we don't get anything, whether it's a defensive issue, a rebounding issue, or a scoring issue. And so it's just something that, I mean, you really need a bench, but, you know, it's like we talked about before. Some of the best teams in the country can play 5, 6 guys, 7 tops sometimes if they're conditioned well and they don't have injuries. And you want to keep your best players on the floor as long as you can, but throughout a long season, you know, you get to tournament play and stuff like that. You do need to have a bench to where you're not playing guys 36 and 38 minutes a night, but you know, I got to get them in. Going through the Peach Belt has been tough. Playing against some athletic teams have been tough. It's limited our development of a post player because we've been playing a bunch of guards and some speedy pressing type teams. So, you know, getting back into sack play, you know, maybe we can start getting into maybe some slower games that, you know, maybe we can develop the bench a little bit. But some of the guys that are coming off the bench are experienced players that we certainly expect more out of.
This has been a tough road gauntlet this week. What have you learned about your team through 2 games and you want to see improved upon as you get ready for the Bulldogs?
Well, you know, we adversity hit a little bit against Columbus State. You know, it's a long trip and that kind of stuff, and that's what we're putting ourselves out there to do, to play tough games against really good opponents on the road. And, you know, we almost came through at Columbus State with a little bit of adverse situations. And then, you know, last night going to a place like LMU, which is a tough place to play and not a place that we haven't been successful at since 2012, you know, and Bird goes down, and then we sit her the whole second half as a precautionary thing. And we still go out and have to navigate through a second half on the road. Granted, we had a 14-point lead, but we built the lead and had a really good quarter without her. And so just playing through that on the road, adverse situations, still coming away with a victory is something that you're certainly happy to see as a coach.
Wingate no longer has Marta Masenko inside, but still a solid overall group. It's another place where you haven't won in a little while. What do you expect from Ann Hancock's team on Saturday?
I mean, the same thing you're always going to get. You know, they're very tough, defensive-minded, you know, going to pound it inside and rebound well. All those things that Wingate has been known for, you know, and they did lose Marta, which was always a very difficult challenge for anybody that was playing against them. But they returned 4 starters, and they've got experience as well. And, you know, they don't have Marta, but they have Jordan Quick, who's a very talented post player and tough to guard, and Witherspoon is back. And so, you know, they've got guards that can score. They got 2 in double figures, and then, you know, Witherspoon's in double figures, and Quick's not that far off. So, again, you know, depending on what we do with our lineup, you know, it's going to be a challenge to guard them in the block more like it was against North Georgia. And we're going to have to make sure that we have a bunch of people getting in that paint to try to, you know, take away easy buckets because they can seal and post up very well.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck Saturday.
Thank you, Michael.
He's Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watring, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.